I witnessed something so traumatic that I don't think I'd ever be able to celebrate Independence Day. This happened to me when I was 13 years old. We were celebrating the 4th of July. I was celebrating with my mom, my father, and my sister. Usually, the neighbors across our street would get together and have a big barbecue with lots of food, games, and fun little prizes to win. It was really a great time, and I usually looked forward whenever the July 4th would come around because I love the festivities that the neighborhood puts on. It happened during the nighttime. It was close to 8 o'clock p.m., and food was about to be served. As we were getting ready to eat, I noticed there was a strange man that I did not recognize, and matter of fact, I don't even believe he's from this neighborhood. He doesn't even live here. I know that for a fact because I met all the neighbors around here, and I know each and every one of them. Our parents always allowed us to play with their kids. But as I was looking at this guy, he kept on looking around and just acting weird. He kept on looking at everyone. When I mean everyone, I mean everyone. He glanced at my parents. He even glanced at me. This dude had a cold look to his face. This dude looked like if looks can kill, he would have murdered everyone there. He kept on looking around, and then after that, he sat down by a picnic table. He sat there and kept on scoping around, looking at all the neighbors, having a good time, drinking and eating and playing games, while the kids were playing in the pool, blowing bubbles. This guy gave me some weird vibes. To give you a description on how the guy looked, he had long, gray, stringy, dirty hair. He had a very unkempt beard. And I noticed that he had a very foul odor on him. He wore dirty, ripped pants that were blue. I'm guessing they were blue jeans. He wore some sandals, and he had a muscle shirt that was covered in dirt. As this guy kept sitting there, I really started to feel very uncomfortable. Like my gut was telling me something about this guy was not right. As the man was sitting there, he began to talk to himself while tilting his head right and left. And then he started to laugh. I couldn't make out what he was saying, but I really was starting to feel uncomfortable. I decided to let my father know about the man, and my father also told me he did not recognize him, and he told me he'll keep his eyes on him, and he'll let some other guys know to keep their eyes on him as well, because he did not live in the neighborhood, and that felt kind of off to him as well. As the festivities went on, we popped firecrackers and enjoyed the display of beautiful fireworks. But as that was going on, we heard an unmistakable gunshot, followed by a man yelling out in pain. It was my father. I recognized him. A bunch of people started running, including my mother. I ran as well, but several people held me back. But I fought them off of me, and I was able to run in the direction where I heard my father yelling, which sounded like he was in pain. When I made my way over there, I was met with something no child should ever have to see. It was my father. He was laying on the sidewalk with a pool of blood around him. I already knew that he was long gone. I remember my mom crying hysterically. Everyone was crying and screaming. The authorities came and they put my father in a bodysuit. My father was confirmed to be dead. The officers tried their best to look for the killer, but there was no luck. The killer was gone. There was no trace of him. I did manage to tell the officer through my sobbing tears and snotty nose that there was a man who seemed to act strange. He was at the party where he didn't even belong in the neighborhood. He just felt like he was out of place. They took my statement down after I told them that, and they assured me they were going to look for my father's killer. But the damage was already done. What was supposed to be a festive night during that time ended in tragedy, and it ended with me losing my father. To this day, I can't ever celebrate 4th of July the same again. And to make matters worse, they haven't caught the killer who murdered my father. He's still out there.